Hey y'all, this is Southern Woods here. Welcome back to another Ages of Conflict War simulation. Y'all were really engaged and intrigued by the Metro Battle Royale, where all the state's biggest metros fought it out, as well as the states. But I had someone comment, shout out Devin Campbell 3607, who one questioned the location of Seattle, but also said, "Damn the states. Just do the metropolitan areas. Damn the states." You know what? I agree with you, man. Let's just do the metros. We have 96, and as you can see, a lot of areas, especially up in the Northeast and in the Midwest, there's a lot of land up to grab and not a lot of big metros. Meanwhile, along the East Coast and West Coast and among the Great Lakes and Texas, honestly, there's a lot of metros. A lot of metros end up being on the coast. Let's see what happens. What metro do you live in? Or are you part of no man's land in this simulation because damn the states? Alright, we have land being eaten up currently. We have our first battles. Let's slow it down because there's a lot to process. Everyone automatically makes the top 100, but who will make the top 50? Who will be the first to fall? These are all things that we're going to find out. The first alliance is between Des Moines and Minneapolis. There we go. Those are words for you. Who will be the first couple to fall? That's what I'm curious about. We already have some battles in Florida. The first to fall, New Orleans, conquered by Baton Rouge. New Orleans has fallen. The first metro. They were in a precarious situation. The Saints have fallen, as well as Phoenix and Philadelphia. So Philadelphia did not make it far, as well as Gulfport and Orlando, as Jacksonville moves south. Alright, we're going to see them very quickly fall now that I have it on normal speed. Let's try to keep up. Chicago, a big one, conquered by Milwaukee. And Pensacola, conquered by Montgomery, who's looking pretty big. Columbia, Seattle, and Atlanta have all fallen. So already really big metros taken out by some smaller ones. The ATL has fallen. Not by Sherman, but by Greensville. Alright, Grand Fork and Fargo looking pretty big as they fight it out. But Fargo is going to lose to Grand Fork. And then Memphis taken out by St. Louis. A couple of big-time music metros went at it. But St. Louis saying that they are the music city. Houston was conquered by Lafayette, who's making a pretty deep push. We have all sorts of alliances coming and going. We just had Madison and Portland both fall. So Olympia taking big advantage of the Northwest. Columbus was conquered by Cincinnati over here in former day Ohio. Grand Fork expands westward. San Jose conquered by Sacramento. Of course, that's going to be a big one to watch is the California metros go at it. San Antonio getting more control of Texas. Detroit was conquered by Cincinnati, as well as Cleveland. So Cincinnati is having a heyday up there in Ohio and Michigan. We just had Huntsville and Augusta fall in the southeast. San Francisco desperately trying to hold on here. Meanwhile, Birmingham was conquered by Tuscaloosa. We have Milwaukee going down south and taking out St. Louis. Who calls it St. Louis? Anyone call it St. Louis? I was always told St. Louis. Meanwhile, Little Rock is going to fall to Tulsa. So Tulsa expanding. We just had New York City fall to Buffalo. So Buffalo's really big right now, as well as Boston. Raleigh and Winston-Salem have also fallen. Nashville, conquered by Milwaukee, another music metro. We have a lot of tight conjuncture in the southeast, a lot to be sorted out. Meanwhile, Omaha, conquered by Des Moines, and San Francisco finally taken advantage of by Sacramento, which is looking big. Big messy battle between Charlotte, Greensboro, and Myrtle Beach, but Myrtle Beach is going to take advantage of Charlotte and knock them out of this race as we approach the top 50. Milwaukee made a deep run, or a big move, but Green Bay ended up sneak attacking them up north. Meanwhile, Sioux Falls was taken out by Minneapolis, who's making a pretty deep push, and the Vikings have turned on the Packers and taken them out. The rival clear there. Meanwhile, Cheyenne trying to push up into Grand Fork. They're struggling to do so. Santa Fe, Mobile also no longer. The last one to fall before the top 50 is going to be Jackson. So here's your top 50. Let's look at some statistics real quick. We have Grand Fork, Albuquerque, Denver, Minneapolis being the largest. Denver, Grand Fork, Minneapolis, and Albuquerque being the richest. And then let's look at the alliances real quick. Turn on that. We have, some big ones like in Texas. All right, Southwest, pretty aligned here. Spartansburg and Savannah and whatnot. Yeah, it's pretty broken up. There's a lot without friends currently, though, too. People are turning on Charleston. They're having to escape. They're not doing too hot. And they're going to be taken out by Knoxville. Meanwhile, Jacksonville, Duval is taken out by Columbus, Georgia. All right, shout out Columbus. Making a semi-deep run here. Making it through the top 50 so far. We got Savannah and Columbus, it looks like, being the only Georgia metros left. Cincinnati's still alive. They made some pretty big battles go their way earlier, but they've kind of shrunken up a bit. Columbus and Savannah going against one another. It's not very friendly of them. Des Moines and Rochester both fall, as I struggle to find words through this video. Tampa Bay is going to fall to Columbus as they move south into Florida. Olympia now pushing against Sacramento, making a move on them. They're going to take them out. Baton Rouge. All right, Baton Rouge, the first one to get a dub in this simulation, taken out by Tuscaloosa, who's looking pretty big themselves. Shout out Tuscaloosa. A lot of gory battles going on in the southeast still. Grand Fork battling two people at one time. Cheyenne and, who's this? Helena. We just had Salt Lake fall to Grand Fork as they dip down into the Rockies, trying to expand in other forms. Austin and Lafayette both fall to Dallas, as well as Oklahoma City. So all of a sudden, the Cowboys making a big move as the Broncos fall to Grand Fork. Whoever wins this deserves their own football team. Expand the NFL. Will it be the Grand Fork Utensils? I know it's not that type of fork. Alright, Tulsa taken out by Tuscaloosa, and then Columbus is going to fall to Greenville, leaving Savannah the only Georgia metro left. Montgomery going to get a lot of that, though. Montgomery has most of the control of Florida. Meanwhile, Spartanburg taking out Myrtle Beach. The Spartanburg Spartan. Easy football name. You're not trying to just take control of the U.S. You're trying to take control of your destiny in the NFL. Unless, let's say, the Cowboys come back from the 90s. Because they're not coming back this year in this NFL season. Well, and Spartanburg was taken out by Lynchburg, another Berg, making moves. Sorry, Dallas fans. San Antonio going to be taken out by Dallas. Dallas heard my words, and they want revenge. Meanwhile, Helena taken out by Boise up here. Pittsburgh taken out by Atlantic City. The Steelers have fallen. Uh-oh, Albuquerque. Albuquerque really shrunk right there. Cincinnati still this funky little shape. Still surviving as we have our top 25. Everyone who's made it this far, congratulations. Uh-oh. Cheyenne is collapsing. Cheyenne. Peacing out. Look how broken up they are. Ah. And look how broken up and layered California is. San Diego, LA, Fresno, and Olympia. It's like a 5-layer cake. Savannah taken out by Lynchburg as well. So no more Georgia Metros. None of them made it to the top 20, but they made it close. Shout out Savannah. And look at Cheyenne. Look at Cheyenne on the brink fighting back. Meanwhile, Boise, with the help of Fresno, takes out Olympia. Man, we could have had the Olympia demigods or something, or the Olympia Trojans. I don't know. That would have been a cool football name. Tuscaloosa has fallen to Lynchburg, as well as Greensboro and Montgomery. So all of a sudden, Lynchburg, huge! Sorry if I ruptured y'all's eardrums right there. Grand Rapids trying to do their thing against Grand Fork and Cheyenne. DC is still alive. What should we name DC if they win? The DC Politicians? Oh, I guess Washington, D.C. has its own football team. Forgot about the Commanders. Alright. Someone else fell. I was so distracted in my football talk. Let's get back to war. Cincinnati, look at that. Threw a sliver. Well, now it's like bleh, dot. And then they have some land up here in Michigan. Very interesting. Dallas, though. Dallas and Boise looking like the front runners here. Ooh, I may have just jinxed Boise. Buffalo being overrun by DC. The Commanders have invaded the Bills and have taken them out. Super Bowl? Question mark? Commanders and Bills? If it happens, you heard it here first. Although this video will probably come out way after the NFL season at this rate. Boise was just taken out by Grand Fork. LA is going to fall to Fresno. And DC was conquered by Louisville. And somehow I miss Lynchburg fall. I don't know how that happened. Baltimore just took out Atlantic City. So the Ravens. It's the Ravens and Cowboys left if we're looking at it that way. I don't know why I turned this into a football thing, but I did. El Paso was taken by Dallas. San Diego had a football team, but the Chargers are now in LA. And just like San Diego Chargers, they have fallen. Louisville, conquered by Baltimore. So you have your top 5. Fresno, Grand Fork, Dallas, Grand Rapids, and Baltimore. 2 Grands, 2 NFL teams, and Fresno. Dallas had to change up their capital a couple times there. They're having to retreat. They're not doing good. And they've collapsed. They made a run in the playoffs, but collapsed early. Following the trend. Cowboys fans, unsubscribe right now. Oh, man. One of the Grands just fell, Grand Fork. I'm not telling you to unsubscribe. I'm just saying they probably did. It's alright. I'm a Falcons fan. We don't even make it to the playoffs. Unless we did this year by the time this video came out. Baltimore, looking like the front runner here. Fresno, not doing too hot. And Grand Rapids, not doing too hot either. But shout out to Grand Rapids and Grand Fork, both making a top 5 run. That was impressive. Alright, Fresno, it's your time to bow down to the might of King Henry and the Ravens. Let's get this simulation over with. I'm sure there are a select few of people very upset that I turned this into some sort of massive football talk. But Fresno, they want their own NFL team. They're fighting back. The Fighting Fresnos. And it looks like Fresno is going to collapse. They fought hard, though. Let's put a petition, the Fighting Fresnos, for the next NFL expansion. And the Baltimore Ravens have won. Well, Baltimore has won. Let's just stop with the football talk. If Baltimore Ravens won the Super Bowl, though, you can thank me. And without further ado, if you like this simulation. If you want to see a run up again with or without more football talk, let me know in the comments. And if you want to see more of these simulations, subscribe and join the Southern Woods community. I also do outdoor videos and food reviews, stuff like that. Without further ado, once more, Southern Woods